As famed dungeon master Sinead O'Connor once said when improvising an entire session for her players, nothing prepared. Nothing prepared for you. Hello, and welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. You're very welcome to the show. If this is your first time watching, yeah, stick around. This isn't one of those shows where you need to go back to the beginning. This is one of those shows where the plot kicks in now. Everything's on the table. Couple of announcements before we get into the show proper. We are a proud partner with Dakota Irish. You can find them at dakotairish.com. They are purveyors of fine handcrafted dice trays, exalted vaults, towers, as well as like a whole chunk of dice. And they have some new dice in their store. If you like, if you're playing druids, if you're playing kind of at one with nature, maybe you're not playing them and you don't theme your dice to your character. No judgment here. But you will find wildflower, meadow, and wild rose. They're like a clear resin, and you can see inside there's like little petals and stuff. It's like there's a whole ecosystem trapped inside a D20, which, if you think about it, is kind of like a metaphor for this game. It's like a whole world trapped inside a dice. I'm not just telling you that because I want to. I'm telling you that because we have a
Gav's mind.
That's
dice talk.
Sorry. Don't worry, we're on the internet. I'm telling you that because we have a promo code Homebrew10 on your first order from Dakota Irish. You can use the code Homebrew10 at checkout. Get 10% off. Homebrew10, 10% off. Huh. Wow. And I think it's on your first order. I think it's like a first time use. So I would recommend picking up like a dice tray or something, you know. But hey, if you want to get a whole treasure hoard of dice, you could do that too. I'm not your boss. Even if I was your boss, like bosses shouldn't tell you how to spend your money. They should give you your money. Shouldn't tell you how to spend it.
We're in a nosedive here.
We have a podcast. Lucy, do you want to tell all our viewers, now that they're here, do you want to tell them another way that they can enjoy it? Really, it's so you can tell your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, if you've been telling people that, there's a podcast, that wasn't true before, but it is true now. So, find your podcast, go onto all the podcasty places. If you don't find it on your podcast place, please harass me so that I can figure out how to make that so. But it should be everywhere, and they're sort of back, the original episodes, and they'll be coming out kind of every 2 weeks, the weeks that we're not on here. So, yeah, go check it out.
And you might have noticed that we have a coffee account. So if you want to support the show, if we provided you any level of escapism, look, we do this because we love hanging out with each other. We love a sort of professional excuse to drink amazing craft beers and brews and also play a game that we really love. But we do have a coffee account. What we do with that is that we take all your donations and all your kind of support and we give it to charity. And the charity that we like supporting is Maasai. They're the movement of asylum seekers in Ireland. They are trying to end something called direct provision. If you don't know what direct provision is, I'm not going to give it the proper justice. I suggest that you look it up. There's real resources of which we could probably start adding to our below the screen sort of stuff. We'll do that. Future Ben, note taken. But if you want to support the show, we're going to use that to then support a charity or not even a charity, just an organization we really believe in called Maasai. You can look them up, and that is coffee.com/homebrewquest. But there's a little hyphen between the co and the fee. And it's not spelt, unlike John Coffee, not spelt how it sounds. It's a K. So again, that is in our little thing below. If you're watching on demand and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss out on that little ping, that live notification, that's okay. You can still toss us a coin. We'll bundle it all together. And what we do is wait until we have a lump sum and then we send it over to them in one big go. Last thing, before we get into the show proper, that's a lie, a couple of things more. But what are we drinking? On this show, we kind of inspire the world based on the brews and kind of drinks we have at the table. I can kick us off, not to give you any insight into who might turn up this episode, but I started on a Sour Susie. And I think I might follow that up. So Sour Susie by Lurvig by a Hallo, ich bin Raspberry Berliner. So maybe they'll meet someone called... Yeah, it's really
I really
nice.
hope we meet someone important called Hello.
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 King, hello.
King, hello. You can see my hello. Anyway, it's by McKellar. They've been to the town of these parties. These little punks have been to the town of McKellar, but who knows? More might make it to the table. Wes, you are in my sort of clockwise rotation, so let's go that way.
I am sampling for the first time Franciscan Wells Pilgrims, which I've poured out into my fantasy stein, and I can smell, and it smells delicious, but tastes extremely good. Yes, would recommend. A good Cork beer. Good Cork beer.
That's going to tie into my little intro monologue. There was something that's been in my head since day one of the stream, and I've never mentioned it, and it makes total sense for this show and a particular class of player character and Franciscan Well being brewed by monks. But anyway, no spoilers until literally moments from now. So never mind. Is it Gav next?
It can be.
Next, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drinking Beavertown Gamma Ray, which they've just got my local off license, and it's lovely. I'm having a celebration. Look at this fancy can.
Pew, pew, pew.
Gamma Ray is very tasty. Big fan of that.
Yeah, I would worry as to what sort of weapons our enemies will be carrying as a
Very
result
true.
of this beer, but, you know, it's delicious.
Yeah, you might have screwed us.
Yeah.
Gamma Ray makes Hulk. We're grand. Gamma Ray makes Hulk.
It's you can cast Scorching Ray or Gamma Ray, and both both pretty vicious spells. Lucy, what are you sipping on?
Yeah, I am drinking some Fox's Rock Lager, which I'm seeing them everywhere, and so I'm liking the lager and the red ale. It's lovely. I have a drink here that I'm hoping might become a character, but I'll save that one. But yeah, it's lovely.
Teasing theatrics. Stick around for later in the show. We might find out what that other beer is. And then finally,
It's Heineken. No, it's not.
Regular old water. No. I am drinking a Sierra Nevada drink, a Wild Little Thing, a slightly sour ale. It's delicious. Tastes like strawberries. I haven't had a strawberry sour in a while. Oh, look. In tiny writing, it actually guava, hibiscus, and strawberry. So I wasn't lying.
I'm glad you have that. I had that on the table and I knocked it to the floor before the show started, and it got all fizzy. No, like I assume it got all fizzy. I'm just like it hardly didn't get less fizzy.
No,
so I put it back in the fridge.
It's delicious, so it's well worth it. And Wild Little Thing, you know, it sounds like a good crack character. I also have a beer that could be a good character name, but also could be an awful character name, like Gamma Ray. Could be really bad for us. So. I won't mention it, but just for our own protection.
Yeah. Once it's out in the ether, who knows where it's going to get picked up. So
Yeah.
I think that's the brews out of the way. Obviously, huge thanks to our tech team, Paul and Angus. They're basically keeping this show alive. We would be shouting to the void. And maybe some people are out there, probably not watching, though. If there's people out there who don't like this show, I hope you're not rage watching. You're like,
View is a view. I don't care.
Please rage watch.
Yeah.
I think.
Actually, just on that, before we move into your proper setup, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to us on YouTube and like all the videos and hit the bell for notifications, because it makes a huge difference for us in getting the show going. We really, really appreciate it. If you haven't done it, do it now. Just click buttons. Click everything.
We're watching. We're not going to move this show. There's actual people out there who don't move the show on until they see a certain numbers, and that is weird. I'm not going to do it. What I was going to do though was wish Angus a very happy birthday. Today is his birthday. Yeah, I'm doxing his birthday on the internet. Take that. Everyone knows his birthday. But happy birthday, Angus. We've been sort of Angus down since going remote. We're trying to figure out how to. Angus is a sound guy. He's been kind of crafting those lovely undertones to the show. If you're wondering why you have to put up with us making the sound effects, that's because we're down in Angus to figure out how to bring him in, but just the sound of his computer. Look, I don't know how it works. Clearly, that's why we have a tech team. So we'll figure that out. Oh. Huge, big, sorry to steal your thunder, Angus, but huge congratulations to Mr. Tatohead. He got married since we streamed last. They have been a huge support for the show. Amazing fan, like close friend of the show, and big congrats to them both. So I'm going to raise a drink to Mr. and Mrs. Well, I don't know if she's taken the Tatohead name, but if she is, congratulations to Mr. Tatohead and best of luck in married life. You're going to love it. If you're watching now, I think you're meant to be on your honeymoon, so get out of here. Don't involve us in that weird stuff. Come back
You're
later.
so dedicated.
Cheers. Congratulations. Now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia, and imagine, if you will, a cluster of stone and wooden huts, miles up into the mountains, sitting above the clouds themselves. And you'd expect the solitary retreat to be calm, at ease, and yet the thwack, smack, and rhythmic clack, clack, clack of wooden bowstaffs against each other can be heard echoing across the valley. And we see on a small wooden rope bridge between two peaks a pair of figures fighting. And they're trying to knock the other off the bridge and send them plummeting below. But there's a sort of a ritual, performative atmosphere about this fight. It's almost as if it's a daily trial. And in a slight distance, we can hear the quick padding of feet across tall wooden poles. As we see a small dwarven woman leaping from one to the other with perfect balance and two sloshing buckets held above her shoulders. This is a school. It's a training ground for monks who practice in both the martial and the brewing arts. And as we take in the full scope of this mountainous monastery, we can see some small children way, way down at the bottom of the mountain, faced with a climb up thousands and thousands of steps, each carrying small kegs of beer or barrels filled with their finest brews. And as they begin their ascent, bringing this upwards, bringing their offering of their finest beers, this is the first in a series of trials to become a master monk and brewer. For as we all know, every beer and ale in Hibernia is brewed by monks, created with such perfection as if it's an offering to the gods themselves. But that was then. And this is now, where we find four sexy, sexy adventurers standing on the outskirts of a burning city. Burning city. It's a city on the up. Iggy, if you wouldn't mind giving us a quick recap of what brought us here, that'd be great. Both, I think, for everyone at the table's benefit, because it's been about a month since full party's gone. And it's been a hot minute since I've looked at my notes. So that'd be great.
Sure. I'm sort of picturing this as like the burning building is happening and then some like local plucky reporters pull Diggy for a vox pop. Sort of like more important things to do, but just sort of like, oh, okay, well, okay, so we have been just generally like traversing the wilderness as our little band. We have, we rescued a cursed town one time. We did once do that good thing. Remember that. We sank some ships. They were pirates. We made a deal with the devil, ishly handsome Prince of Kildare. She was fabulous, but not really sure what we agreed to there. Possibly something that might be coming to fruition. Who knows? We arrived in Draíocht and Huck, classic Huck, he's only gone and gotten cursed. So we went to outside Draíocht to a little sort of pixie outpost, and they were treating him like royalty. And we discovered he only went and cursed himself. So yes, he is actually a prince and decided to curse himself to live a simpler life, I believe. Then we happened to meet a sort of seemingly all-powerful Rua. Got lots of questions and answers from her. Answers such as, she's my mother and is offering me powerful help against the very imminent danger that my village is facing. Also, she seems to be maybe plotting to destroy the world by like crashing two planes of existence together, unimaginable death toll. And my main question is, why is she so evil? That's tough. Anyway, while all this was sort of going on in my head, we traveled back to Draíocht. It was a lovely travel, actually went very smoothly, very fast. We arrived, it's burning. And people are fighting, and we get message from the Fianna headquarters that that they've been maybe usurped, that maybe those pirates that we made those deals with have attacked. We're not sure, but we're possibly to blame. And yeah, that's all I remember.
That is fair. By mere virtue of playing, you're to blame. In the sense of, if we stopped, nothing would progress, and the world be as it is. So yes, in the long and short of it is, the more we play, the more harm we'll do to the imaginary world we sandbox around in. But that's pretty much. I don't think there's anything else that the audience seemed to know. That was a really concise write up from the town of McKellar, which hey, to hear.
I feel like I want to remember that we once did a good thing. That we were heroes. That one, as opposed to just blindly following our own things. Anyway.
Fair. I mean, in a way, it's like that classic riddle where it's like you're on a train track, so you can either hit one person you know or 1,000 people you don't know. But it's still, I'm still railroading that plot. There's no getting off the train.
Fair.
To set the scene, it started raining when you came out of the solitary birch tree, and that rain hasn't lifted. In fact, it's been a perpetual evening.
That'll solve the fire problem.
Oh,
our work here is done.
Let's turn around.
And in the distance, you can hear the approaching rolling of thunder. It's kind of just been this stormy, ominous, almost as if atmosphere of weather helps set atmosphere of a game. And you can see just across the brink of the city of Draíocht, a sort of amber glow pushing into the night sky, and it's billowing smoke from the distillery district, which is closer to the docks. The ground you're standing on one of the roads built by the Clockwork Tangerine, but it is cracked and uneven. It's as if the plant life that we'd seen sort of growing from the outside around has suddenly punched through. Actually, speaking of, sorry, I forgot to mention this last time. Huck, as you're walking around, you do get the distinct sort of sense of burning. It's not like you're standing on like hot coals or anything, but like if you're on a horse, but if you were hypothetically to stand on the ground.
I think I was standing on the ground at the end of the last one, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yes, you've moved to hide behind a solitary and abandoned merchant stall. And you have noticed that the ground is a little bit hot for some reason. There is a thick, wet smell of smoke in the air. A thin black fog seems to be clinging to your surroundings. And where you are in this immediate moment is that you're ducked behind this empty stall and you're spying on an escalating argument between 3 members of the Fianna and 4 city guard posted at the gates of Draíocht. That's pretty much where we can pick off. So from here, all the pieces are on the table. Let's play some homebrew. Yeah. That's the referee's whistle go. But
has anyone else noticed that the ground is a wee bit warm, like a hot potato?
Have we noticed, Ben?
No, it's not. It's not warm to you. It's wet and cold. It's rainy.
Okay. No, Huck, it's freezing cold, and if anything, I want to get out of these wet clothes and into a dry martini. I want to. It's in no way hot.
Okay. That's a wee bit strange, but sure, maybe I have a fever or something. There's been a lot going on.
You're not getting ready to throw another fireball, are you? Is that what it is?
Look, I can dry us all up very quickly if that's what we
fireball,
though. Is that your priority?
No, we're fine. It's okay.
I can get 3 dry fairly quick.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think what is a good idea is getting into Draíocht as soon as possible to find out what's going on.
I have an idea there because of the whole changing thing and the puka thing. I think I can change into an animal that might be able to scurry in, but then I'd be separated away. Also, it's a burning forest. It's probably not a good place for the animals.
Also, these guards are fairly distracted. I fancy my chances of getting around them.
What could go wrong? Sure, we'll just have a wee chat with them if they catch us.
Agreed. And if a chat turns into a fight, whoopsie-doo. So is our goal to try and sneak around the guards then, now that they're distracted with the Fianna?
Yeah. Did you get a message? Did you get a message from your my leader?
Yeah,
Did
yes,
we
I
hear that?
did. essentially.
I think we're well equipped for a stealthy infiltration mission.
Yeah, I think.
Are we heading to the Fianna?
Yeah, the notes from Abby de Vauclair seem to indicate some desire for help and some urgency in that desire.
Yeah.
So I'd say we move to Oris na Fianna.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to the Temple of Life to finish off this whole gas thing. I don't know if it's a good time.
Maybe
if the temple burns, then I might be stuck forever. Like,
yeah, we could 2 birds, 1 stone. I think we Oris first, and then on the way back, hit up the.
God, Keelan, stop shoehorning your backstory into this. Oh, God.
Yeah, and I think we should head to the docks to fight the pirates.
We all want to go see the hot hunt lady, right? What was her title?
Abby de Vauclair, wasn't it? She was the champion of the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think we'd like to try and sneak around the guards.
Yeah, is it just a straight on, like, head on approach, or are you thinking of trying to? I guess I've never described if Draíocht has walls.
Very fair point. Yep.
So
I assumed it had trees.
I presume,
yeah, it kind of has trees.
Your trees.
Trees that one could climb and jump from tree to tree.
That's an idea.
Like, are they kind of
guards?
like,
are they fighting each other?
Are there like trunks going up and then where the trees spread out? I'm sure there's a nature term for it. We need Orla back, and they sort of would intersect, kind of thing.
Holding hands. That's
holding hands. Yes, that's it. Are the trees holding hands?
Yeah. So to paint you a picture with words, you have this clockwork tangerine road heading into what is being a cleared out section of Draíocht. Not entirely. They love their trees and they don't want to necessarily knock them down too much. So there's a little bit of sort of flatter ground. But if you did veer off the road itself, you could easily just kind of nip around in where kind of buildings. So there's that classic thing where the buildings themselves sort of make up some of the walls. You know, when you left, that their natural defense is sort of not letting in anyone who's never been here before. I don't know if you recall, but some of you, when you looked back towards the city just looked like it had disappeared into the trees themselves. Alongside this road, of which I don't think I've ever described, but it's always been in my head. This is where we miss Angus, because the sound cue of hearing it would be like, yes, that's the thing, is the river, which I believe is called the River Rockshore, that runs through Draíocht. So it's kind of road up high, river down below. So there's also the river, which is rushing quickly towards the sea. You get the feeling if you took that, yeah, you're in the city, but how do you get off this thing? So
we've got
plenty of options.
We've got
not a lot of people infiltrate.
Don't we?
We've got what?
We've got rope.
Oh, I have rope. I have rope.
It's a river, like you stay close to the side.
Way in where the guards are? Can we just distract the guards? Like, can we create something for them and just sneak right past where they are, or can we see that there's a lot more guards in the way?
How about an attractive lady just over there, telling them to look at them?
I was thinking of a scoreboard, so that as they're fighting, they the number racking up, each of them hits, and then they sort of are slowly looking at it and hit each other and watching the numbers. That would amuse me.
Tricking them into a game of sorts. I like it. I like it as a plan. I can't see anything going wrong.
So they're looking in the opposite direction, and we can sneak in as they're confused by this.
I mean, have we considered just yelling, "Look over there"?
Do you know what? I am a fan of just yelling, "Hey, look over there," and trying to sneak in. It has worked for me countless times.
To be fair, this is kind of your expertise. So I take your lead in the old sneaking. I'm very good at sneaking. I'm sure. I've not tried.
So I would like to yell, "Hey, look over there," and I just want to tell you, if it's a performance check, I'm fucking golden. All right.
Are you trying to throw your voice?
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yes, that sounds like a plan. Now, you have 4 horses with you.
Yeah.
What's the plan for the horses? Are you going to be like on horseback, like tie them up outside?
I think tie them up outside. What do you think? What do you guys think?
Well, how big is this entrance? If we can suitably distract them, can we just run in on the horses? I mean, we're not wanted men when we're inside, right?
I think the old "hey, look over here" isn't going to cover horses clopping past.
What? Well, can we illusion prestidigitate something over when he says "look over here"? That is also
That would buy
a mysterious body or something.
I could use a minor illusion. Sure, I barely ever get to do that, and it doesn't actually have to be an illusion of a minor, but that could work.
Yes, an injured child. They're rarely useful, but in this instance,
yes, I think an injured child is perfect. So I'll yell, "Hey, look over there," and maybe I'll say, "At that injured child." You make an injured child appear, and then Iggy, if you can make the sound that an injured child would make, like, "Oh no, I like too much ice cream," or whatever, they say.
Got it. And
I'm gonna let you freestyle with that one.
I think we're okay with a child because a child's smaller than a 5-foot cube, right?
Yeah, you're barely, like, the two of you are smaller than a 5-foot cube.
Aye, well, there you go. Do they know what Rian looks like? Are they looking for him actively? Because I could just put him over there.
Oh, a version of him.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, well, maybe
version of me.
Do we want to stay in their mind?
Alright, you know what? A small child, let's have a go. I will be ready to cast that as soon as you want.
And I think prestidigitation would cover me making a noise over where.
Prestidigitation can cover noise, and the minor illusion can cover noise, I think, as well. But probably best to have it. Probably best to have you focus on the one part.
All right. So play by play, how close to the gates do you want to get before kind of kicking off this plan?
Can we just sort of? They're not paying attention to us. Can we sort of wait until? Can we just like sneak until as they're fighting and wait when we think it's dangerous and do it?
Yeah, you look up and sort of the time in which it's taken to pull this plan together, you get the feeling that the little altercation, it was kind of a verbal argument that was happening between the Fianna and the guards, is sort of coming to a sizzling close, and it looks like the Fianna are about to walk into the city, seemingly having gotten over whatever they were spatting about. Mm-hmm. But no time like the present, really.
Oh, okay. Well, so should we do it now? I'm just gonna elbow Rian. Injure a child now.
The place is on fire. I think we've lost Gav, but
yeah, internet's a little shaky on our end, all across the board. We might, just for the audience's point of view, we might end up flushing the internet at some point, but maybe after we pull off this plan. The suspense of not being able to hear us or see us maybe adds to the excitement of the adventure. Who knows?
We can just assume that Rian's performance was 18. So
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll make that the last part of the the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
As Rian's understudy, I'm more than no. My performance is abysmal. Let's step in with that.
So minor illusion to one side, riverside or forest side.
The side. I mean, we're standing on one side, so the opposite side to us. I want them to look, completely be back turned to us.
Into the city itself.
No, because we're going to try to sneak into the city, I suppose.
So if they're looking forwards, are they looking to like?
I want them to look to the right. Yeah, I want them to look to the right.
Cool. That's towards the kind of forest and sorry, I see where you're talking about. It would be towards the river because you're probably going to come in the forest side.
Cool.
Absolutely. Minor illusion goes off without a hitch. You have a small child, injured, and in the river, on the river.
Are we
making an illusion of Rian or a kid?
a kid. I think.
Kid.
Kid.
I think it's safer to go with a kid. Let's not
Cool.
throw ourselves into the mix. He could have been in the river. Near the river?
Yeah, he can just be kind of like stuck, washed up on the riverbank.
Stuck in the mud.
Cool. And then Iggy, you were going to throw your voice. Was that the plan?
Yeah, over there.
She was going to use prestidigitation.
Yeah,
Yes.
prestidigitate voice, so it's sort of just a child asking, oh, did you do this to me? So I just want to lay some guilt on.
I think
Help-
I'm not
help
100% positive, but for the purpose of the plan, I think prestidigitation isn't like verbal, but you can make kid-like noises.
Oh, well then
Yeah.
just a general,
Perfect.
that feels
It's either a
weird.
kid or a goblin.
Yeah.
Up to the guys. And then finally, I believe we've got back. Finally, the last bit of the performance is the hey, look over there. And I presume at that moment, you're all just going to gallop like the wind.
And
toward the
I would like to yell with all the conviction in my voice. Hey, look over there, a struggling child who needs help.
Yep. And roll a performance. I think with advantage, you've got a lot of help from your party here. Every part of
Sorry,
like
Ben.
the illusion, the prestidigitation, everything here has helped you out. So you can roll with advantage.
Yeah, so with advantage. Amazing. Probably don't need it. 25. 28.
It's so good that we all turn and look and also try and help the child instead of escaping.
Wait, there's a real child there.
Yeah. Shit, Rian, did you see a child as well? Oh my god. What are the chances?
It causes a fluster, both the sound of horses rapidly approaching and also exactly what you said. The guards are like, wait, what? Wait, where's the child? There's the child. And one of them takes off while the other one goes like, sir, what did you see? But is so in a flurry of everything that's going on. I think there was 4 of them. They're pretty bamboozled as you gallop into the city. I'm going to check if any of them might have gotten a bead, except for just 4 horses. And you get the impression that all they really saw were 4 flowery horses galloping past.
Oh yeah, flowery horses. Forgot about that.
And you can hear as you kind of quickly, Reen, you'd know this because the best way to kind of lose a tail is just take kind of a zigzaggy route. So you kind of speed off and kind of out of the main road. And you can kind of hear like, oh, the old sick child trick. They got us again. And you are in the city of Draíocht. You are. Let me consult my map, which is just an Excel sheet, because I don't have paper to print out. You've come in the northern Clockwork Tangerine Road, and you're on your way through to Hawthorne Heights, which is where you know the Bard Skull is, the Bardic College in Draíocht. If you're heading towards Ars Novena, you are heading further south into the town and over the river itself.
Does one of us remember? Every time we walk around, we seem to get quite lost. Does anyone remember the way to the Ars Novena?
Arlington, don't you have some kind of map on your axe?
No. And I looked down at the axe and see that there was very clearly a map on it.
It doesn't matter because I'm sure I know it anyway. I can show us. It's that way.
I'm going to.
Where's he? You've gotten a little quiet, or is that just me?
No, he is quiet.
No, he has, yeah.
Bump it up.
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
hear.
Speak louder, Bugbear.
Is that better?
No. Just yell.
I would like to cast Guiding Hand.
There you go.
Good.
Oh, yes.
Is an ability I have with my Lair Skull Axe.
Yes. So Guiding Hand remind me of. I went to look this up the other day actually because I was like, I know this is the thing. I don't know if Guiding Hand is a 5th edition spell or if it's just something that we had hung over from because there's no the path.
Unearthed Arcana.
Ah, that's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Do you have it in front
It's
of you?
not in the book. I had to Google it.
Mm.
A tiny incorporeal hand of shimmering light in an inoccupied space you can see within range. Hand exists for the duration, but disappears if you teleport or travel, blah, 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 blah. When the hand appears, you name one major landmark, such as a city, mountain, castle, or battlefield in the same plane of existence as you. Someone in history must have visited the site and mapped it, blah, 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 blah. The hand starts beckoning towards it, leading the way.
How cool
Hand
would
nav.
it be? Or is it going to be like Monty Python, just over here? That just
Yeah.
Yeah. I was picturing as like, you know, the steam coming off a pie that's beckoning you towards it.
Yeah.
Which means that Arlington is floating with his nose.
Yeah.
I mean, as a puka, I'll definitely follow then with that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely...
Oh yeah.
Follow along.
So we're looking for the bard skull, are we?
No, I think we can find the bard skull quite easily. We're looking for Oris Nafina, I think.
Okay, yeah.
The hand floats kind of a little confused and goes like the bard skull, and then like does a really annoying kind of like just tilt your head towards a big sign that says you are at the bard skull. Oh, okay. This way. You pretty much without any hassle at all, you make your way to the Ars Novena. A couple of the locals, they seem to be, as you're kind of walking through the city, and it does take a little bit of while because the city's big. It's not the most inconspicuous thing to be guided by a floating ghost hand. And in a town where people kind of pride themselves on knowing the way around, there's a couple of double takes and a couple of kind of clocking. This is a bit of an odd party. But
like
we've
got our map out and we're like, hello, pickpocket us. Yeah.
Yeah, precisely that. There's not a lot of people around. Here and there, you catch through your general passive perceptions. Like occasionally when you turn onto a street, there has been kind of a figure in a cloak and they sort of scuttle away into the darkness, into the alleys. Not the same cloak, just kind of get the feeling that people don't want to be caught out. Right. You have come across a few more guards just kind of chatting to people at doors, kind of doing the rounds. So far, they haven't really caught up with you.
Is the fire visible? Is it like, is there smoke? Where can we tell? Is the fire coming from like where we're going to? Or
yeah, you're kind of going directly towards it.
Sounds better.
But it's at a certain point you have to cross over the river itself. So you find one of these holding hands tree branch bridges, and you clip-clop across, and at that point you are suddenly on the opposite side. So where the fire is down near the docks in the Blackthorn Distillery District. And every once in a while you do kind of hear a kind of and it seems like it is a raging and roaring fire. You're not sure why in an entire forest city it hasn't spread, but it seems to be pretty much contained to just that area, which is a little bit further south to where you are. So you would have spent a lot of your time when you first arrived down at the docks and then towards Ars Novena. Huck, just before you cross over the river, you are passing the Temple District. So you have to go through the Temple District to get to Ars Novena.
Right. The temple, it's just over there. It's sort of on the way. We could just focus all on me again for a wee bit, and then I'll continue to lead. I am the leader. So
Huck, I think there's more pressing things given the fire and what Abby de Vauclair has said. Your Gyasa. I mean, we can deal with that as soon as we sort out whatever's going on in Draíocht.
But what if the person who was going to help me with my Gyasa dies or sets on fire?
Well, that was always a risk, I suppose. When we left him, we took a risk. I think that he'll be fine. It's a temple of life. I think he knows a thing or two about staying alive.
I think it was a she, but I can't remember. Fine. I'll tell you what it is. It's that I'm a little bit unsure about my place in the Fianna at the moment. Let's not mention the whole fairy puka thing, because they may not think of me fondly for it. I'll continue to wear this lovely bob of apples, and sure they won't suspect a thing.
Of course, your secret is safe with us, Huck. We are nothing if not discreet.
Aye. That's true. All right, well then, fine. Let's continue on following this old wee hand here.
Yeah, the discreet floating hand. Go on.
As you kind of made your way through, I'm backtracking a little bit, but I sort of forgot to mention these notes. They're not important. They're just flavor. There are a couple of shops still open, just so you guys know. The merchants and the people operating them, they look tired, a bit disorientated. And as you make your way closer to Ars Novena, and into where seems to be the sort of more boisterous near the distillery district. You see a few elves just like falling out of pubs. Like people are inebriated, which is mad for an elf. And there's city guard everywhere around here. They're kind of patrolling in pairs, larger groups of 6. You do notice a few chases break out, sort of like, oh, and you just hear the shouting of like, guards, guards, and then like people trying to peg it down the road. You get the feeling it's just because they were sort of drunk and disorderly, which gives you guys the cover to kind of nip through as a sort of a sober party. You're not really attracting as much attention.
Do we know? Like we can just see the building. Presumably, we recognize this area enough to maybe not need the hand.
Hand goes up. It's like, well, fuck me then, I guess.
I was going to say it. Arlington, you
might
might
give it a high five. Or at least go for it. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not.
I'd say, yeah, it gives you a high five, and then I'm going to just waft it away. It's like, it's a bit too. Sorry, just so I think I missed the explanation there. The fire and explosions and all that kind of stuff, is that no one seems too bothered by that?
People are drunk.
They're either
explosions.
They're either too occupied, being city guard, or too drunk, being people. Make a quick insight check. You did see, as you're making that roll, you do see that like there does seem to be people whose job is to stop the fire. But just like any fire in a city, probably not advised to get into someone else's job. Like there's firefighters down there trying their best to put it out.
Yeah, I got a 4, so I'm pretty sure there's no fire.
Yeah, oh no, like it's more just like why isn't anyone bothered, and you just get the feeling that like, man, we left and like a huge party broke out. What a cool thing to happen.
These people are pretty cool.
Anyone with a higher insight or general insight, you get the feeling that because it's been eternally evening, people have never been told to go home. So they've just been like, well, it's still drinking time, and they just haven't gone home yet.
When your players roll low, but you still want to tell them something. But the rest of you picked up on.
Yeah, Arlington's an idiot, but
I'm fine being oblivious. My character's an idiot.
Yeah. You make your way closer to Ars Novena, and you do see at the entrance. So this is kind of one of those 4 big, long. I believe I described it first as like huge tree that kind of makes a tower up to 30, 40 stories, and then a sort of 10 to 13 story kind of blocky fortressy looking building that's just kind of trees and scaffolding, and it's impressive. It looks like a giant hostel. I say it's impressive, and then I describe it like a giant hostel.
Hostels are known for their
what a place to stay.
16 beds in one room. Wow. And the floors are so sticky. Oh, what wondrous substance could this be?
Ooh, communal kitchen. Ooh.
Oh, I've never smelled anything so foul.
What are these noises in the nighttime? History.
I think it looks great.
Its function over beauty is this building. There are Perry City Guards, and they seem to be checking weapons and equipment on the way in, and you do see a trio of kind of just sort of explaining themselves. Not the same that you met or that you would have seen at the entrance. They presumably went somewhere else.
Could I
overhear as you could. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Could I try to eavesdrop on them to see how they're explaining themselves and what they're trying to explain away?
Absolutely. Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
Are we off the horses?
It's a 12 for me.
Okay. Are you off the horses?
I was going to say, is there somewhere we can tie up the horses like a safe spot?
Yeah.
The Ars Novena have a stable, right?
I think if we were sneaking into the city, our flower-covered horses might draw a bit of attention.
What are you saying? They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 choices. There's either kind of close to the city gates where you would have just found a kind of hitch, and it's a little bit like just kind of leaving your horse parked up wherever. Going to be a lot of pressing your horse clicker to see which one neighs back to find out which horse is yours. But so there's that, and the horses mightn't be safe. Or you can bring them closer to Ars Novena. Chances are you would be spotted going into the stables.
Okay.
I think I would have.
They were originally chickens.
Right. Right, so we're still on our horses, but I mean, if Rian is going to go eavesdrop, he's definitely jumped off his horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
You can
take
peel
the reins.
off, like,
I'll
you
take the
can-
reins of Rian's horse as he hops off. So
Yeah.
it's still got.
Yeah,
Thank you very
well,
much.
I'm going to top off the horse as well because I'm curious about the hot ground. Is it still hot?
No.
No. Okay, then.
It was only hot when you were standing on the Clockwork Tangerine Road.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
Or rather, the crumbled up Broken Road.
Yeah, sure. All right, well then I'll chalk it up to nothing and won't do any Arcana checks.
Sure. Your choice.
Well, it's not suspicious anymore.
That must be
I've got some hot
perfectly
feet,
normal.
now I
Some
don't.
roads are hot, some ones aren't. It must be nothing weird at all.
Clockwork Tangerine, heated roads. How cozy.
Look, if I go back to the Chocolate Tangerine Road, I'll have, and I happen to notice, but I thought it was all ground. That's how Huck's thinking. So, and then it didn't happen, so I must have just had pretty hot feet. I do have pretty hot feet, so.
There's an OnlyFans just for your halfling smugs. I guess they're half halfling, half hair feet.
Yeah.
That's a
feet
good
of
feat.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rian, you make a stealth check just so I know how close versus far. Your perception was 12, so I'll take that into consideration.
Oh,
He's
that
gonna
is
get
a
so-
that's 20 plus 11. That's a 31, baby.
You're gonna get so close.
I'm in their body. I am.
Yeah. You'll be able to like smell the back of their neck, but you won't be able to understand what's happening because your perception is gonna be so low. You're too close.
Arlington, you hand over the reins, or you take up the reins of Rian's horse, and then, like the wind, just gone. You don't know where Rian. Like you're in your element. It's raining. The senses are dulled. The streets are already dark and smoggy because of the smoke, and you were just moving from like tree to tree, kind of sneaking up, pulling every possible comic and expert pose. So like, there's a weird shaped sculpture. You can match it. You cartwheel over and you get close enough. You've missed a little bit of information thanks to your theatrics, and the important thing is no one saw
Wouldn't change it for the world. Would not change.
And what you catch as you sort of listen in, very proud of yourself and quite close to them, is they seem to be, the discussion as it stands is they're jotting down what official feat of business they seem to be returning from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and this particular group are saying, well, there was kind of a nest of harpies just outside the town there, north by northeast. They were bothering some of the local farmers, so we were just up there. It's kind of run-of-the-mill stuff for us, just kind of, I guess you'd call it monster hunting, or just kind of keeping local creatures in order. I mean, Abby, if you can talk to Abby, and at that, the guards go, they sort of stiffen up. And it's like, I think you'll find that Abby de Vauclair is no longer your champion of the hunt. Some news as you go inside. There was a bit of a power coup, and your so-called loyal and virtuous Abby tried to overcome and overthrow the High Council of Draíocht. And this sort of takes the group back. You don't know a lot about workings of the Fianna, but you get the feeling that they could be gone for months. Like it could be kind of like just checking in. They go, oh, Abby's been. Oh, okay. There's you spot a couple of quick looks between all three of them, and they change their tone. That kind of casual kind of information they've sort of dropped and go, well, then I guess if it's okay with yourselves, we'll just head on in, grab a bunk for the night, and we'll be on our way. We're not actually from this district. We were just passing by, and there's a little bit of a really awkward standoff between I don't know if you've ever played a game of Dungeons and Dragons where the DM has to roll both a persuasion and an insight for two NPCs, but that's currently happening as they stand off. But you do get the feeling that was sort of a bit of a half truth because you're good at reading people. They all head in, and the guards kind of just shuffle back and sort of peer out, and you can see them now kind of looking to where a cluster of horses have gathered, and there seems to be a party just sort of waiting sort of up the road. They're your party. You know these people.
Oh,
you know them well.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the
Oh, those
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've just become one with the statue now. You've forgotten about us.
So yeah, having kind of gotten that information, I'd like to try and make my way back to the party.
Yeah, natural 31. It's easy enough. You make your way back. And not a long time had passed, really. You were maybe waiting for a minute, 2 minutes. And when you're bored, that feels like forever. But thankfully, that little sidebar to keep you entertained.
I've started juggling.
And then I'd like to kind of tell the guys what happened about kind of Abby being taken down, overthrowing the High Council, and then I'd like to throw in a bit of colour myself and just say, I mean, there must be something up with the High Council. Abby wouldn't do what she did for no reason. I just know it.
Yeah, I'm inclined. She seemed like a good sort. Seemed a little angry though. I could see her giving out to the High Council. I don't know them. I didn't ken them, but you know. What's the plan though? Are we going in? And if
I have a question. Hey, Mustache. What's the High Council Draíocht? We know anything about that? I never heard of a High Council.
I have also never heard of a High Council.
Is there not that politically minded?
Maybe I remember something from the library.
Weren't you a special agent?
I do not.
So,
do any of us know anything about the High Council of Draíocht? I don't think.
No, I did get a 15 on that roll, which I assume is some sort of like intelligence or history or whatever.
Sorry, I realize it's when you start questioning the High Council, disappears from the internet. But I'm back, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think what I picked up was something from the library.
Would we know anything about the High Council? I don't think.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh God, this has never happened.
All right.
We don't even have cover art for if Ben drops. But there are no contingencies for this.
That's what Ben looks like when he's off stream.
I'll just cast a fireball at these guards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well timed.
Sorry, Ben. We came up with a stupid plan while you were away.
The guards have died.
Save them for when I'm here.
Questions. Do we know
you were
anything
rolling
about the High
to see if
Council
you knew
Draíocht?
anything from? Yeah, make sorry, that gave me the sweats. So I'm a bit warmer now.
Pop the shirt.
Brian, make a history check, and I guess Huck. I don't think anyone else, unless anyone else wants to make a case for maybe knowing who they were.
19.
I don't think I would have been here.
I will give it a go. Ooh, probably not good. What am I rolling? I rolled a 5.
then that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Unless your history is 15.
No, it's 0.
Cool. It's difficult to through just context. You're like, well, High Council must be like the government.
Yeah.
They obviously there's a city guard and there's the Fianna, so they obviously run the city guard.
Do
I'd
I
say
have
last
as to why, like, how the Fianna feel about working with local government? You know.
Yes, you would absolutely know that without a roll. You are often hired by local governments to kind of come in and so some members of the Fianna are perpetual wanderers. They'll just go town to town picking up contracts, just killing local monsters, yada yada yada, being all gruff and mean, playing Gwent, I don't know. And then but some do sort of attach themselves to noble houses or to towns. And often it's a choice that you would be given when you kind of finish your trials. It's like, well, do you want to stay in, you were from Ambahaglen, so if you want to stay in Ambahaglen, do you want to be outposted to one of the big cities? One of them would have been Draíocht, in which case you would have worked not with, but kind of alongside the High Council.
Okay.
It seems to be that, like, local governments and kind of civil matters, High Council, monsters and wilderness stuff, the Fianna.
Okay. So, but we'd normally try to be on good terms with the local government.
Yeah, you get some of your best.
It seemed like quite a stretch for her to have gone rogue all of a sudden.
Normally, if something's amiss, the champion of the hunt would go to the High Council to be like, notice this thing. You should probably do something about it.
Okay.
And finally, because I totally forgot that this was literally last adventure, of all characters, Arlington. With disadvantage, roll a history check.
Okay.
Oh, is he about to be sent back to the plane?
I rolled a 3 and a 19, so that's...
Oh.
So unfortunately, that is a 3.
Lovely. What I'm going to use, what I kind of like using sometimes with disadvantage, is a potential of something being stripped away by the dice of the fates. And you hear in the back of your mind, well, if you'd only listen to me, I might actually be able to. And you're like, shut up,
nerd.
and our wee little, the elf inside you pipes down. Is like, okay.
I rattle the bars of my mental cage. Shut up! You're going to embarrass me in front of my friends.
But that's pretty much like, that is a good... It seems to be case by case. Sometimes the Phenom might come across a bit of a bad relationship there, but they're usually your best contracts, because civilians might go to the High Council, and the High Council might go, not our jurisdiction.
Okay.
Send job.
Mm-hmm. So should we go in and investigate, see what's going on, or do you think we could talk to her more through the journal? What do you think?
I don't. If there's been a coup and she tried to overtake the High Council, I don't know that she's going to be in her chambers. She might be in prison. So I'd like to take out the book and write, "Where are you?"
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm going to add this too, because I've set up a text chain between the two of you. The last thing you wrote there, and you can still see your last line, which is, "I'm on my way." Where are you?
Moving closer and closer to Rian just being fantasy Batman with a mustache. Where is she?
Where is she?
In Abby de Vauclair, in Abby de Vauclair's handwriting, the last thing she wrote before that was, "Is this Rian?" And she writes back, "Need confirmation. Is this Rian?"
And then I'd like to write, what's something only Rian would know? Yes, it is. That's the kind of thing that only Rian could say.
Can we see what you're doing here?
Yeah, can they?
Did you say anything?
I don't think I'm being secretive
about
it.
Did anything happen as you were leaving? Did you say anything that you could reference? Like, maybe did you make a fool of yourself in any particular way?
I don't know.
Went
if
up
it happened in episode 5, maybe my notes would be a bit better.
You could use some kind of roll to remember if anything happened.
Could use,
like yesterday or the day before, wasn't it? That you were in the room.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
The problem with that is no roll in the history of rolls will help the DM remember. It's something he can give you to.
Perhaps this DM could be a little bit less obtuse then about remembering who Rian is.
It was a good while ago. It's been like a week or two since we saw her.
Ages.
Yeah, it's been young.
It's just what my character would do.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just start taking over the book and scribbling? Hi, Abby. How are things? It's Huck here. Just really ethically.
Depends on if Rian will hand it over.
Yeah. I let him, and then at the end of Huck's message, I'd like to say, "Would you like to play jocks?" Maybe she remembers that.
Yeah.
I can reach in with a paintbrush and just draw a little picture of Rian waving at her. And
that would
just
help.
add the color.
Yeah.
Let's really add all of the flavor we possibly can for all individual characters.
Okay. Scribbles. Make a performance check, Iggy.
Oh, sure. Roll. Oh, that was 23.
You should draw a picture of Rian.
Yeah.
You're Rian.
I did, right? That was a picture of Rian?
Yeah. You draw it in the book.
Amazing.
And
can the picture have very kind eyes?
It can, but it won't.
Well, Rian only has one eye, and has a little father over it.
Ah,
Hey,
very good.
very good.
I hate it, but it's very good.
I thought I forgot that he had an eye patch this whole time.
Yeah, same. I was like, is that some flavor we threw in?
And I was picturing your character arc, and I was like, yeah, there is. Yeah, there must be. There always has
Like,
to be.
yeah, he's got an eye patch, a mustache, a peg leg. He's actually very bad at blending in.
Comes out. What's what happens when you enter?
Thank God.
Except in
Yeah.
Pirate Town. Pirate Town, you can't find him.
He'd be good at sneaking if he didn't make that like clicking noise with his peg leg every time he walked.
Peg-leg problems, yeah.
So I'm going to need a persuasion check. I'm happy for Rian as the owner of the book to do it with advantage. It's essentially to see if all of this combined, which is kind of nonsense, is convincing enough. And I'm just going to roll a quick.
definitely not getting involved.
My hope was that no one could be as annoying.
Oh, yikes. 13.
But you have advantage.
13.
You helped.
With advantage.
Can I use my Tides of Chaos on someone else's roll? I should check that.
Oh.
Oh, maybe. As you look
No.
that up, you
No.
do get back a response from Abby, which goes, "Where are you?" And then "you" gets underlined. Question mark.
I think we should be honest here if we think it's
Yeah.
her handwriting. So write Oris outside Oris Nafina.
And then there was a second hand writing this book before.
Yes, there was.
In that handwriting, you just see "stay put" on my way.
Okay. So that's not Abby de Vauclair's handwriting. They're telling us to stay. Their wit, like, could be good. Could be.
Let's set a trap.
Rian.
Not a bad idea.
You stay here, and we'll go hide in the bushes, and then pounce out if it's a bad thing.
We can't leave him in the open. I say we all spread out. We keep a good vantage point. See who's coming. Make sure we all got a beat on whoever's coming in. We get him in a choke point. We have the advantage, and we can reveal ourselves if we need to. But we need to have every advantage.
That sounds like a much more formidable and tactical plan.
Arlington,
One
what's going on
question,
here?
Ken. Do we have?
I mean, we should invite them for tea.
Okay. And can I just like tussle Arlington's beard and give him a little pet, like, oh, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm feeling fine.
Okay.
Do we have the where like lay of the land? Like it'd be quite obvious if we're just to try to have a tactical plan here. The guards will see us. They're already looking at us, right?
We also find out.
Yeah, speaking of obvious and speaking of guards, they are approaching you. Because you've kind of just been huddled up, which I think of all times is a brilliant space to take a climactic cliffhanger break. Guards approaching.
I'm gonna wait.
They're just like, hey, what are you doing here?
Hiya!
As
Hi,
I
got you.
decide. This is where we will take our little half show break. We will be back in about 15 minutes. We're just going to do some human-y things. As I point to myself, I'm a human.
I got to poop.
Like Wes was saying at the start of the show, if you don't follow, subscribe, review, etc., look, I know when podcasts ask me to do that, I'm like, ugh. But then I also know when I go, you know what? I'm going to do it. And when I tap those buttons, my brain is dumb. It's a lizard brain. It goes, feel good about yourself. That's basically like saving an orphan. I feel really good. It's just boom, boom, boom. All the chemicals in my brain. So give yourself that experience as you support our show.
That's an interesting style.
That's a strong. That's a strong.
I don't know what saving an orphan's like. It's the closest. Rate, commenting, and subscribing to something is the closest I'll ever get. So do that. Make yourself feel good by helping people. Giving you yes.
Say endorphins.
Orphan endorphins.
Yeah.
If that's not a
Nice.
Twitter handle, I don't. Yeah.
Will be now.
We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Go grab yourself another drink, and we will see you then.
See you then.
Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Homebrew, the show where we get a little bit tipsy while playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it goes off the rails in part 2. That's what happens. I've cracked a window. I've gotten myself some water to hydrate. It's warm in here. Let's get this sexy, sexy adventure back on track. There are there's no top of the part 2 announcements. Just keep doing what you're doing on your end. We'll keep doing what we're doing on our end.
Maybe open that window.
Where we last.
That should always open part 2. That's so good.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Catch you on the flip side.
Why do I get the feeling in like a week's time I'll find out there was a gas leak in my apartment?
I was drinking non-alcoholic. It just hit me like a train.
It's like, and Ben was diagnosed with COVID 2 weeks later. He was feverish the entire show. Where we left off, the party were huddled around just a wee bit away from Ars Navina, the headquarters of the Fianna here in the city of Draíocht, which is under some sort of city lockdown. The city guard have the city on lockdown, so they are wandering over to the party now with a little bit of a hey, what you doing over there?
Huck's gonna start waving and be like, "Hiya, how you doing, lads?"
And so as not to seem suspicious, Rian's going to be like, hey, yes, friendly, haha.
Arlington's going to throw his hood up if it's not already up. Lean ahead over to Iggy and say,
There's no power board. Get somewhere secret. Get somewhere high and keep an eye on this place. It's going to kick off soon. And I'm going to try and disappear into, I don't know, a tree alleyway. I'm going to try and Assassin's Creed it out of there.
Yeah. Make a stealth check. And Iggy, are you doing the same? Are you taking kind of the bam?
He said that, and then I'm gonna just stumble after him as the thing. Like, wait, was I supposed to follow? What? I don't know if I've lost him.
15.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
I think if Lucy's following you, then you might end up.
Where are we going?
To your stealth.
Yeah, and you do hear behind you. Hey, where are you two? Where are you two going?
I'm just gonna keep walking.
Hello.
I think.
And I think myself and Huck, with those two walking away, me and Huck would like to try and get the guards' attention so that they don't follow our bugbear pal.
James, lads, how are you going? It's a weird old night, isn't it?
Oh, thank God you're here.
Yeah, cool. There was some commotion at the gate there. There was a small child needed some helping.
Yeah, and some Fianna were having. It seemed to come to fisticuffs with some of your brethren in the city guard.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's been going on? We've just been out in the pub there, and sure, they never called last orders.
Yeah, we have just been socializing and having a good time and living our best lives, you know.
Do you guys know of any good card games going around? Actually, that's the thing I was looking for.
One of them does go to talk. And gets sternly shot down by the other guards. Well, actually, there's a lovely game that happens on Tuesdays. Don't get distracted.
Great.
What was that about? Were you being harassed by that taller gentleman? And
no. We were being asked for directions to the temple.
And we said it's that away. We think.
Yeah.
But you know temples and drinking and sure the way this place is. It's hard to tell ground from sky sometimes, although that might be the drink.
So we just directed him to the temple, and he said that he was going to pray, and that's kind of all that there was. Thank you very much for checking in, but we're safe. Don't worry about us.
Yeah, that's very friendly. It's nice to see the guards are all around. Sure, that's great. I feel safe.
I feel very safe as well. Yes. So. What are your names? What are you guys up to?
It's so weirdly awkward.
They're being kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been in an experience where you try to, and I don't think we'll ever tell this story on this show, but it's definitely been told on other drinking podcasts that both myself and Gavin have been a part of, where you try to blag your way out of not being in trouble, and the whoever, the authority in charge, just wait. But you get the feeling that the authority Yeah, the authority in this instance are just waiting for you to stop.
Well,
They're like,
no, it's looking late, but it's hard to say. But we should probably go for a kip. But
we
thanks
probably
for
should.
checking in. They were safe. It was just directions, but sure, if it was something bad, you probably scared them off or something. So that's
and we live locally, so like, don't worry about us. We know our way. We know this area like the back of our hand. Whoa, is that the back of my hand?
I live near the two freckles there by my knuckle.
Well, I would imagine you live in the old headquarters there on account of your cloak and general appearance.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, not always
cloak?
actually. I'm from a completely different headquarters actually. But
A different branch.
we all I didn't hear anything.
Just from a different branch.
a different branch. It's a bit of Fianna humor because of Draíocht and the trees, And there's always 3 of us most of the time.
Pause for laughter.
Listen here, we've had enough trouble tonight and the past few nights. We're not looking for anything more. Just tell me, what are your names? Where were you? And you there in the Fianna cloak. What official Fianna business brings you here? I accept that you're from a different area, but you're here now, and that kind of falls under our jobs tonight.
We had heard that this branch had been having some trouble, so and some Fianna had gone disappearing off in the distance. So we were just as we were coming through, we were just gonna check in and say we hadn't seen anyone, because there was a kind of broad notice that some people had gone missing, and that happens in the Fianna, yourself. It's dangerous out there in the wilds. So we were just doing an old we didn't see anyone. We traveled that way, so cancelling it down. And then we were going to get a boat, but as I look to the docks now,
something appears to have happened.
Perhaps we won't.
Yeah, the orc pirates attacked on account of the champion of the hunt here, would you believe?
What?
The champion of the hunt knows.
What did he or she do?
It's a she. I heard that.
Oh, is it? Sorry, yeah. I didn't know. I'm from a different branch. What did she do?
You haven't heard. So you've heard that the Fianna were going missing and there was trouble, but you haven't heard the details.
No.
Oh no, the Fianna going missing's been going on months. Unless the pirates have been attacking for months, then
we assumed it was the Black Dog or some monster. Is it pirates?
Pirates is more your purview, less ours, I suppose. So we'll let you. We won't be distracting you.
Make a general persuasion check. You can both make it, or one of you can make it with advantage. This is to kind of set their disposition towards you.
Do you want to make it with advantage, Keelan?
Sure. I'll give it a go. Best that I'm the persuading one because they're probably most dodgy about me. All right, advantage. I have a +8, so that's good. Does the it doesn't matter.
God, you rarely successfully persuade people, even though you've got a +8.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'd think I was more charismatic.
You're just really unlucky with the roll.
I rolled an 11 twice, so 19.
Yeah, you don't necessarily pick up on where they feel about you, but you get the feeling that they're not. It's either they're not arsed going further. It's a little insulting. Like, you do get the feeling they're like, whatever's going on in the city, these two idiots are clearly not involved. They are the...
It's the Inspector Clouseau strategy.
Yeah. That or the... You're clearly the two innkeepers from Les Mis. You're just out to get a book, but not involved in the main plot.
Yeah.
Well, just to give you a bit of a heads up, a couple of days ago, Abby de Vauclair, the champion of the hunt, or ex-champion of the hunt, I should say, of here, seemed to go to the High Council of Draíocht and threaten them with an army of orc pirates that she would overthrow and kind of instill Fianna rule on Draíocht.
On
account of the Clockwork Tangerine, putting them out of a job and all that.
What do you mean, put them out of a job?
Clockwork Town. Sure, they're the lads who are building the roads and stuff, right?
Seems like
Well-
very different jobs.
Yeah, a Fianna. I've never built a road as a Fianna. I'll tell you that much.
If it's safe to travel, what need do you have of a band of mavericks keeping the roads safe?
Oh yeah. I'm worried about it being safe to travel very soon. Yeah, sure. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Kind of steps on your toes as the way you make your money.
There's a lot of money in being a Fianna. That's why we do it. That's what I've always said. It's a job. You'd hate to lose the job.
Well, are you heading in or
That was the plan. Just to have a wee wander into the inn there and have a kip, because as I say, a lot of drinks, you know.
And I'm just going to say goodbye to my Fianna friend here as the most dangerous bounty hunter in all of Hibernia. It's been a pleasure working with you. Please recommend me to your friends. I'm just going to wait out here.
He's the old bounty hunter. Bread and butter.
Yeah, that's me. Bread and butter. With me, you know what side your bread is buttered on.
And if he falls over, it always lands on the buttery side, which is his back or his feet. He lands on his feet. He's buttered.
That's me. I always land on my buttery feet.
You've heard of him, I'm sure.
Have they?
no? Well, if you run into trouble, I am. Well, you might know from my name badge. Hallo, ich bin Raspberry Berliner.
Hello.
Hello.
And the other one who was going to tell you about this sweet card game on Tuesdays, on the mythical day of Tuesday, goes, and I am Oscar Blues.
Hello, Oscar Blues.
Lovely to meet you.
Somewhere in the distance, a sweet sax goes off. You don't know why.
I must say, I do like that all the guards here have lovely, name tags that say hello. That doesn't happen in all the cities. Let me tell you.
Hello, I'm a city guard.
It's a very popular name here.
Very, very friendly. I've always liked that about Draíocht.
It's funny. We actually had to shorten. I don't know if you know much about elves, but we've incredibly long names, and name tags are quite small. So we sort of had to truncate. We go by nicknames.
Isn't it a problem when efficiency gets in the way of culture?
I was just Oscar, wasn't I? Just saying the same thing.
Well, I'm with you there.
Just saying.
I'm with you there. You should. Yeah, I mean, you should have as long a name as you have. Just have really long name tags.
We should probably get back to our post. By all means, stay chatting. We didn't mean to disturb you.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you. Hello, and Oscar. We'll talk to you later.
I just gonna have a wee kip and walk this way.
Yeah. And then we return to the spot where we were told to kind of wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around that same time, Arlington and Iggy, you do hear in the kind of rustling up the streets, the rustling tree streets of Draíocht behind you, a sort of shadowy person sort of approach. But they're doing that thing where it's like, you know when someone just starts standing beside you? They're just starting to stand beside you. They're just like watching the same action as you're watching.
Okay. Is this
so
we've been watching
beside us?
their conversation, or as we're walking
Yeah,
away?
they've kind of just come up from not the main street, and sort of just started standing beside you and started watching the two lads chatting away to the guards.
Okay. Can we make out any details about them?
Yeah, they turn to you and go, what are they doing? And as they turn and you see their floppy hair, you can see it's none other than Susan, the quartermaster of the Fianna, otherwise known as Sour Susie. Sour Susie is
Yes. The emo teenager, yeah.
Yeah.
Also known as why Ben grew his hair.
He's cosplaying a character he created.
Yeah.
every DM's dream.
D&D is all in the mind, except when you need a fringe. Oh, Susie! Oh, Susie! Oh, good old friend. How are you doing? Oh, sorry.
Unless you're hiding in a bush or no reason.
We're sort of trying to figure out what the situation is here in Draíocht. We've been gone for a while. We're playing catch up, and the other two were just talking to some guards, and we figured it was best to get out of Dodge. We're playing catch up. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to meet with you. I presume you got my message.
Were you sent? You? I wasn't sure. We didn't recognize your handwriting. It was always quite mysterious. We thought maybe you were going to murder us.
We were pretty confident you were going to murder us.
It's not off the cards. But I sent a secret code.
I don't think I'll resheath my axe then.
Classic sour Susie. Oh, you.
Are you alone here? Or you got backup?
It takes her a moment because, as you mentioned, Sarah Susie, like you just get the feeling that like ice has frozen over her. In the sense of going.
Yeah, was that a name she liked?
Or maybe she doesn't know that people call her that behind her back.
Yeah, all you know is people call her that behind her back.
Oh God. Okay, that seems like something Iggy would do. Sour Arlington, what are you doing? How are your feet standing there? Should we go over and talk to Sour Huck? I think that Sourian's in a mood.
That sounds like a sour idea. Let's do this.
Yeah.
A real sour idea.
You can't tell if for her this makes it easier or you're just like salt in the wound. Instead of heading out into the open again, might I suggest that they just come in where we are?
Could we hear anything that was being said between them and the guards?
It depends on how far away you wanted to get.
I was following Arlington out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we would have gotten like 30 feet away. Like I was trying to like get into a crowd and break line of sight or whatever.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have heard
You kind of just nipped around the corner, but you could still see them. And the guards, you are lucky. There's thick smog in the air because it makes hiding easier.
Can I send a message with that my message cantrip? I think it's cantrip. To Rian and tell him, Psst, Rian, hello, it's me inside your head. You can. Remember this? Remember, I'm sort of learning how to use it. You can reply to me, obviously. How's it all going over there? We're in the bush.
And then I'd like to message back. It's going fine. This is really weird. Still.
Oh, okay. Yes, it is weird, isn't it? This isn't how humans normally interact. Yes.
Who are you talking to?
We Sour Susie is with us. She's here. She's who Abby sent. So But what did the guards tell you? Should we be meeting? Should we follow them? What did you get?
And then I think do I talk in my head or do I talk out loud? I don't know.
I was just looking that up.
It's basically if Iggy talks to you out loud, you can talk internally. If she talks internally, you have to reply out loud. One or the other.
Oh yeah, I was doing it. I was definitely doing it internally because I didn't want Susie to hear.
Okay, right. So then I'd like to go.
Technically speaking, you whisper a message.
Is that?
And so you point your finger towards a creature and whisper a message.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, so I would have done that, and
So
you can reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Okay,
okay, but the people beside. Okay, well.
Yeah, so Susie does realize that you're kind of just.
Oh yeah, can reply.
trust
Can reply in a
her?
whisper only you can hear. None of it's internal. Oh, I've completely misread that. I never play spellcasters.
Okay.
Then
I'd
like to say,
but his reply, Susie won't be able to hear.
no, only you'll be able to hear it. Yeah. So the guards are saying that Abby de Vauclair has overthrown the High Council with the pirates. Again, Fresh Prince and Abby de Vauclair, I think they'd have their reasons for doing this. I've never met the High Council, but maybe we should go with Susie. And you haven't called her Sour Susie, have you? Because she hates
Oh yeah. I have, but just call everything sour. It's a thing. Oh wait, shit! I said that bit out loud. No. Shit. I've been cursed.
This is a gas on you.
Just come into the bush. We're in the bush.
Okay, we'll run over to the bush and grab Huck and go, hush, Huck, come into the bush.
What's going on?
It's a surprise, friends.
Friends! Surprise!
You make your way, and you're kind of, you're sort of in what I can only describe as like a fancy garden hedge, but just over the hedge.
Okay.
In that, so you're not necessarily in a bush, but you are just kind of, if there was like a little nook or alleyway that was bush-like, that's where you are. Just to give you a really well painted out picture there.
Yes.
You're off the main road. And Sarah Susie's there, and you can see she's no longer wearing, you all kind of clock it as you sort of take each other in. She's no longer wearing her Fianna outfit. That's been sort of, who knows where it went. The laundrette, maybe. And she is in just kind of simple brown leathers. She has kind of strapped to her side just a small little drum, which kind of, you didn't notice that before. She's in dark kind of pants, and her hair again is kind of just struck over emo style across her face. And she takes you all in. He goes, so you were away when this all happened? Like, where do you fall?
We went to you to get some stuff, and then we went off on a trek. We're only just back.
What do you mean fall?
Right before we left, like a couple of days ago.
We got to pick a side in a war or something?
What happened while we were away?
Well,
I noticed everything's on fire. That's new.
Yeah.
I think I would have remembered a fire.
Thing is, do you mind if I do something for my protection?
Depends entirely on what it is.
Is this our protection?
I just need to know you're telling the truth.
I will. Truth's never been a problem.
Are you going to cast a spell?
It's spell-like in the fact that it's magic.
How else would you... Oh, listen.
How will we know if you're telling the truth?
I'll step into the spell.
How about this? We're okay with you casting a spell on us, but if we don't like it, I'm going to cast a spell on you. And I'm going to tell you, I only know one spell that works well, and it's real sharp.
It might sound weird, actually, but we do have a way of confirming that you don't intend to attack us with a spell. If Rian just, go with me here, but if Rian puts his knife, his sword up to your neck.
I more or less suggested the same. Oh, right. Okay, no.
No, but with the truth-telling one, not with your one, not with your killing one.
I'm going to put my neck really close to the sword to be like, oh, look, it's fine.
In the interest of safety, we'll check that you want to cast as truth spell and not just like a big old fireball or something. And then we're both doing things for our own
I feel
sake.
like we're in the desert and like all guns pointed at different people.
The other option is I just leave.
But if you wanted to leave, you be here.
And we'll just continue to write in the old book.
Okay, so it is you. That softens the mood a little bit. You get the feeling she's a little bit kind of like, okay.
Oh, should
so
I said it was
you haven't confused us with another group of halflings, half elves, and bugbears, have you? Because there are a few of them going around.
No, but I have confused you with anyone who can write.
Right, but you can see us now, though.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That it's clearly you. But at the same time, how do I know that you're not meeting with people outside and this is a trap?
Does it look like this is a trap?
All right, you know what? Just cast a spell. I'm on board with this. Let's get it over with.
If the spell will have it cast the truth, then
my heart is true.
Look, I already know magic can't kill me. I'm invincible. Just do whatever you got.
And she does sort of weave her hands around and just goes, hey, don't lie to me. And oddly, unless anyone wants to resist, because you can resist.
I'm wondering. I was considering resisting, but I'm wondering.
Yeah, I'd like to resist. Will she know if we resist?
She will, right?
You don't know.
If it
Unless anyone else has...
succeed to save, I would assume.
Unless anyone has Zone of Truth, you don't know.
I'm an open book.
I'm gonna let it happen.
I don't
Right,
have
my
any intention
wisdom-
to lie.
my wisdom
anyway,
save is
so
shit anyway.
I'll leave it as it is.
I'm gonna resist. It's in my character to resist. Like,
Yeah. Make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma save. Gotcha.
Oh, God,
shit, that's an 8.
She doesn't. To put it bluntly, she doesn't know you tried to resist.
Okay, but
She just knows you failed.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry about that. It's just for my own protection. To be perfectly honest, and I'm telling the truth, I wasn't sure if, because anyone could write in that book. We kept being like, "Who are you? Is this real? Trust, never verify." Which is funny enough what you said to me in the stores. So I thought you might know it, and then you didn't.
I'll be totally honest. Your presence barely registered with me.
She gave you presents? I didn't get any presents.
Here's the thing. I'll bring you to Abby de Vauclair. Do you know anything?
And I will try to have sex with her. This Zone of Truth is great.
I will. I guess
So
that was the
liberating.
truth. It was the truth spell, no doubt there.
Okay. Do you want me to? I won't tell her. That's between you and her.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
appreciate
I would prefer if you didn't.
what stays in the zone of truth. I mean, there's got to be. You cast a spell on us, and all you had to do was say, "I'm telling the truth." So I feel like there should be some respect with the truth that you're getting from us.
I mean, we should have a go at the old truth dagger by your neck.
Well,
If you promise not to kill me with it, then yeah, sure.
I promise not to kill you.
Well, you're
I promise
old,
not to kill
so-
you right now, but can I promise in future? No. But right now, you are safe.
We sometimes kill people.
Okay. Well, that kind of answers my questions. So we might be good. Do you trust me?
Lady, I don't know you.
I reckon
Yeah.
you're my friend.
So,
Not
but I'm a
100%.
bad judge of character.
This is our second time meeting, and the first time, let's be honest, you were kind of a dick.
No, actually, if I remember that, you were all dicks, and I was just doing my job. Not my fault. That like
Hey,
I just literally have to.
Hey, Zone of Truth, you were being a dick. You can't lie. You cannot lie about how much of a dick you were.
Honestly, I was just trying to double check on. Look, I get Zone of Truth's one of those weird things where, like, subjectively, like, too many of my friends have gotten into arguments that never end because they both believe they are in the. They're like, do not cast this at parties. Is all I'm saying, because they will go in circles. They will be like, no, yes. Look, I trust you guys, and I trust that what I'm about to tell you, you will take as the best of we put together. And I'll bring you to Abby and a couple of other people. There's been a hell of a triple cross.
A triple cross.
Abby was set up. She went to the council to tell them that there might be some presence of orc pirates. At the same time, from what we gather, orc pirates were told to come to meet Rua, of which we have very little information about, but she seems like a very tricky, very calculated and manipulative person.
Aye, she does seem like that.
Who's
We've
she?
met her.
Oh. When?
Well, what time is it now?
Like yesterday? I don't know. Yeah. It's like
I'll be
maybe
honest.
24.
It's from Feyland straight into eternal evening here. It's been hard to tell. Could have been Could have been ages. Could have been minutes.
Rua does seem very tricksy. And I wouldn't trust her at all.
Well, that's good to hear.
I'd like to trust her.
She's her mother.
Oh yes, she is. Yes.
I'm gonna turn around in the group like, this doesn't make us speak as well. We can just compartmentalize some of this.
Zone of Truth, I did not know that.
Because of the Zone of Truth, I did not know.
Like Simon says.
Yeah, Zone of Truth on Lucy Newsom. I definitely didn't know that. I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's fucking amazing. I love it very much. As a player, I don't want it to stop.
But it also makes sense that I think Arlington might be the only character with their backstory who has ever been Zone of Truthed before and realized that silence is also an option.
I think he's definitely been fucked over by Zone of Truth before.
Arlington, did you eat that last slice of bandit cake? Spit it out. What's in your mouth?
Oh, it's a human leg.
Rua is your mother.
I will
very much estranged.
Yeah,
not all of our mother, her mother.
We only have her word to take for it, so as we said, she seems untrustworthy.
That might
explain. But I'd
explain.
like to trust her.
There's things we need to unpack there, I think, and I'm not the person to like. Are you willing to?
Yes, you're quite low down on the power list, to be honest. I mean, really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, none of us really respect you. Oh, damn it!
No, unfortunately, we didn't that time, and we don't now.
I respect Sour Susie. She's my friend.
Okay. Look, I think I'll just take you to Abby because this is a lot of truths. Like, I did not expect so much.
You cast the spell. What did you expect?
Oh, you were in the middle of telling us. What happened?
I want to know more about Abby Warren and the council.
So the orc pirates brought by Rua, and then where's the third cross? Because I see a double cross.
I don't even see a double cross, if I'm honest.
First cross, orc pirates brought by Rua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set up to be seen to be attacking the city.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Second cross, Abby, thinking she could trust the council, brings this information to council and seemingly is put as if she has done this.
Okay. Is that
who like the council did this? How did that happen?
And that's the third cross, the council against the city.
Seemingly
is in the back pocket of Rua. She's been pulling the strings here from this sounds like a cliche, but like literally day one, like terraforming Draíocht. It's as if she found out that there was suddenly a community of elves who she was attracted to. I don't know. No, she's your mother, so she's an elf?
Yes, she is an elf. Well, I'm half elf, so I assume maybe she just chose that for me, though. I don't know. She seems literally so powerful; it terrifies me.
I have a question while we're talking. Why is that a triple cross? It's confusing because I mean the pirates, they were working for themselves, right? That's a thing. That's not a cross. That's just a thing. And then Abby de Vauclair doing her job. That's a thing. That's just she's not crossing anyone. And then I get this though. Then the High Council, who shouldn't be working with the pirates, turn out to be working with the pirates and against Abby de Vauclair.
Sounds like a double cross.
I think it's
like
just
a double
betrayal.
Cross, or a betrayal. Not really a double cross. Sure, if it was a triple cross, wouldn't Abby de Vauclair actually be working for the council, but pretending to have been working for the pirates and actually be working for the council again?
Can you take us to Abby and end this?
Yeah. I think because I was going like Abby to council betrayal, council to pirates.
Wait, so
betrayal.
Abby betrayed the council?
Well, no, that's the.
Was that a lie in the Zone of Truth?
Mm.
In our precious
No,
zone of truth.
The council have done some crossing, to be fair, but everyone else has acted in accordance to their normal alignments. That's what I would have thought.
I probably wasn't the best. I'm literally just meant to take you to
I
Abby.
think you have issues with public speaking, Susie. Yes.
Yeah, a lot.
Sour Susie.
Oh my god.
Well,
Anyway.
I was trying not to say that because I felt very bad for mocking her earlier, which I did do.
Guys, I don't want to ruin the bubble, but I actually dropped. The truths were too much like 5 minutes ago, and I dropped the spell. So from here on out, you've just been speaking your own mind.
Wow!
I don't know what.
It was quite freeing, wasn't it? Oh, exhilarating.
Yeah, wow. Let me test it. Hold on. Huck, we're best friends. Yep, the zone of truth has dropped.
Hey, what the? It's still working, isn't it, Susie? You were tricking us.
Let me try one. Iggy, we probably won't have to kill your mother. That's pretty good. Okay, we're good.
I'm confused now. But I trust you, so yes.
Why would I just take
Abby? We can.
Let's
that seems like a.
Yeah.
This is because it got messy and
it's bad radio. This is bad radio.
I understand that it's no time at all in the night, but this is the kind of thing that even at 4 a.m. if we ever get to sleep, look in tomorrow morning, let's just all have brunch together. We can iron out anything we said that we didn't mean, and any sort of fear, we can just get over it. But being like, look, hey, things got out of hand. So the truths were had.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel fine about everything I said.
You called me sour every opportunity you. Anyway, look.
As far as I know, that's your name.
He was born without a sense of guilt. It's a weird thing.
What's a guilt?
It's a dinner. It's fine. Let's find Abby.
So you make your way towards the way Susie is directing you is back over the river and then south towards the Blackthorn Distillery District. And there's a little bit of patrol, and you tend to be kind of trying to keep yourself stealthy for the purpose of how long it takes you to get there. If everyone makes a stealth check, I'm going to do a group check. Eee.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Unnatural 22.
Nice.
Natural 20 plus 3.
Oh, I got a natural 1 though. So.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that cancels out Keelan's natural 20. And
Thanks, Lucy.
You're welcome, Huck.
22.
22.
I think I was
22,
whispering
natural
it.
20. That's enough passes. Which makes sense because Abby only got a 5. So I get the feeling that as she was leading you back, there was a little bit of unpacking. She went over to you, Iggy, and was just like, look, I know I give across a very dour and kind of just melancholic appearance. It's kind of I'm new to the job, and it just keeps myself safe. So it's not that I don't like you guys. It's just that when people call me Sour Susie, it's they don't get me. No one gets me. No one understands what I'm going through. Sorry, I should really be.
I totally
direct
understand.
No,
Susie,
no one understands.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Can I suggest, and it can be just between us as a fun thing, maybe instead of, because you have all this baggage with your name, can I suggest a new fun nickname for you?
Yeah, what would you like to suggest?
Something that I just think you need a fresh start. Maybe a fat frog.
What
do you say? Frog?
Wow, I might stick to Sour Susie. At least Susie's in there.
Okay, so now relatively it's better, right? You're welcome. And I give her give her a little hug around the shoulders.
I want a hug.
I thought you were going to suggest she dye her hair or you guys get a makeover or something. It's like, why don't we call you
Like-
Fat Frog instead?
You like classic, just take these glasses off and remove your paint-covered dungarees.
Oh, no, the
Shit, I
new nickname is
That's
so
why I
much
was
better.
too excited to call someone a fat frog.
You walk.
Yeah. Blast from the past drinking this. This is
Is it any good?
so sugary.
It can't be.
Yeah, that's something to be
I
drinking.
didn't know it came in cans.
I know. I just saw it in the shop and I had to get it for like.
And
for
in what, 500 ml cans? That's a lot of fat for us.
A lot.
Yeah, it is. 4% though, so it's not that much. But yeah, it tastes
It's
like
the sugar,
it
not
actually
the
tastes like
alcohol
a
you're
dip
worried about, though.
Yeah, you will be up all night with the amount of sugar in them.
Oh shit. Yeah. Anyway, back to the driving. Anyway, so we're best friends, I think now. Me and
Susie leaves, and you hear her muttering under her breath, "Fucking white hag."
and I'm gonna think like, yeah, nicknames. We're clearly best mates.
See you later, slut.
Yeah.
She brings you towards the edge of the distillery district, which is on fire. And you hear, like, as you're making your way towards it, there still is just like barrels of just highly alcoholic and highly distilled booze just exploding in the distance. But as you get closer to it, you do see that there is sort of a wall of force and magic that has been kind of cast over this area of the city, seemingly hemming the fire in. What doesn't help is that it's all trapped and ablaze. It's like an inferno. Ah, how horrible. But at the very least, it's contained. And that is a green drink. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so thick. It looks like swamp water.
Sorry. Don't mean to.
Is it fizzy?
Yeah.
It's
Like
really fizzy.
Hey, look, we inspire this world based on the booze we drink. Let's call the flames green. They're green flames. It's magic.
Whoa!
It's the
Holy shit.
whiskey, I'm sure. The whiskey's
Lucy, when you
okay.
hold that in the overlay, it's the exact same shade of green as the overlay, and it looks like your drink kind of blends into the side. It's very on-brand drink.
Anyone out there good with a green screen? Put anything you want in Lucy's glass. No.
It's just reeing inside the glass.
You make your way through, and Susie tries to find kind of a gap in the flames, and she turns to you and goes, "Look, I'm sorry, but you seem like crazy adventurers, so there's going to be a bit of a dash through the flames. If that's okay." Hey, look, it's a leap of faith.
I'm cool with that.
Wait, but what is actual fire?
Fire's fine. Sure. We're on fire most of the time.
Some of us more than others. Are you sure we have to jump through flames? Why can't we? Why explain this to me? Why are we jumping into a fire?
Well, the whole area is on fire, so unless you have some way to create a safety tunnel.
Okay, I'll rephrase my question. How do we not burn alive?
Oh, it's just these flames are just licking against the protective wall of force. Once you jump through them, it's just lesser flames and embers.
Define lesser flames.
Or like, don't touch them. You'll be fine. Stand within a couple of feet. You'll be
Arlington,
fine.
Would you like me
Can
to?
we see you do it a couple of times? Just jump in and out just to show us how it's going to go?
Yeah, absolutely. And she leaps through. Go. And natural
terrible
20.
place.
Nice. Sarah Susie cartwheels through the flames and be like, fucking losers.
Aye, well, that seems fun.
And from
then.
the other side, it's like, yeah, it's totally fine here. It's like, it's a little hot and uncomfortable, but, you know.
I think I'll give it a go.
That was pretty
Same.
impressive. I'm going to try to cartwheel through.
Yeah, nice. Make acrobatics or dexterity saves, whichever you prefer.
I keep rolling 11s. Okay, let me.
The acrobatics is to do that sick, like, twist through.
Yeah,
Acrobatics
14.
or dex saves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Minimal.
They're basically all the same, except if you happen to be proficient in acrobatics, you get a little bit of a
I'll do
flamed.
acrobatics.
I got 14 overall.
15? Nice.
14. 1-4.
Oh, 14?
I got a potentially treacherous 6.
Cool.
I want to dive through shield first to kind of protect myself, but that's going to be an 8.
Nice.
I got an 11, but I have something when I have to make a dex save. If I fail, I take half damage.
Sure do, because you were a rogue.
Yeah.
So Huck and Rian, you only take 5 points of fire damage as you through these flames. But Iggy and Arlington, 10 points of fire damage.
Ooh.
Shit. Fuck.
As you dive through, it's difficult. There's part of you where you're running towards it, like seeing the two halflings sort of
Actually, sorry, hang on. So
ice climber through.
Is it effectively a dex save or a check we have to make?
Dex save. Yeah.
Okay, because I get to add my shield AC to that if I'm using my shield.
Sure.
So
which brings
12.
you up to. Yep, that's what I thought.
Sorry, 10. Sorry, 10. I misspoke.
So there's a little bit of hesitation before you go in, and some of that damage is actually just inhaling smoke. So there's kind of it's one of those situations where the faster you just accept it, almost the better off you are. So there's kind of a little bit of back and forth, and then you dive through, taking that damage. Susie is on the other side, and as she kind of helps pull you through, goes, "Sorry about that. It's just the safest place for Abby at the moment is the place they'd least suspect to look."
Fair enough.
Right.
And thing is, no one's allowed in on account of the flames. But do keep your eyes open because there are some of the city guards patrolling in the sky, and if you see like owls or kestrels or falcons, just watch out for them.
Shoot them down, right?
Well, no. don't draw any attention. Just sort of like stick to the shadows, because it seems like the orc pirates here. They well, initially we thought they attacked and set the whole area ablaze, and then the more we sort of gathered information, it seems like they were meant to meet with Rua here, and it was a setup. Made like they were the fall guy, I guess is how you explain it in a very accidental pop culture reference. And well, look, we don't know what's going on, but maybe you can help. And she leads you towards this one particular tavern, which, like, compared to the surrounding areas, which seems to be kind of like broken down, scorched wood, still with the crackling of fire along it. And like some of the buildings are more on fire than others. Some of them have just sort of crumbled down and broken down. And there are a lot of warehouses seem to have just completely exploded. The docks, there's no use getting there, but there is one particular tavern, which we will call Handsome Jack's. Handsome Jack's. It's where hope goes to live, not to die, to live. Hope is also the name of the brewery. So Handsome Jack, where hope goes to live, is on. I expect to say is on loads of flames. It's on fire. It's really, really on fire. It's so on fire.
It's on
like
fire.
It's on so much fire. There's so much fire in this building. It's a little bit suspicious. And Susie just walks right into this fire. And then pops her head back out, and her head's like in the fire, and she goes, "Oh, I probably should have. This is an illusion. Just like no one's going to come in because the whole building's on fire." It worked really good the other couple of days when everything was on this amount of fire. Now it just looks kind of silly.
All right.
That makes sense.
I'm going to be very trepidatious about going through, but I will go through.
Can I examine it? Because if you know it's an illusion, right?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's 14 on dice, and I don't know that I'm that good at investigation, but no, that's 0. 14.
You're pretty sure it's an actual fire, except for the fact that Susie's sticking her head out of it. Like, if anything, that just makes you think she's resistant to fire.
Okay.
Can I take one of my pieces of paper and just hold it into the fire and see what happens?
Nothing happens. As you physically touch the fire, it's very clear it's an illusion.
Okay.
Then we go in, follow
We
Susie.
walk through.
You make your way down. As soon as you go into this place, it's actually like there's something nice about the cool, refreshing air. You realize how much you've been breathing in sort of smoky fog. It's as if there's been a sort of magical protection put in place to protect both the integrity and the comfortness of this old tavern. It's kind of set out a very simple bar in the round and snugs around in the corner. And as you walk into the actual circular bar itself, you realize there's a hatch in the floor. And Susie opens it up, hops down, and you can hear from down the bottom just like as she sort of lights up a lantern, and you can see that warm glow coming from the cellar below. And she goes, well, just hop down and we'll almost be there. And as you all jump down into this little area, she kind of pulls aside some dusty old barrels, and there's a stone wall in front of her. And again, she just sort of walks through the wall. And from behind the wall, it's like, look, the whole thing's illusions. That shouldn't be a surprise at this point. You can just.
I'm gonna hold the same piece of paper up against it, being like, "Will you fold against these rocks, paper of mine?" And they do not fold.
Flame.
I'm gonna run straight into the wall.
Make a quick perception check so you pick the right part of the wall.
Oh, 17 on dice. So
yeah,
probably fine. And plus 0.
That kind of undermined my favorite trick, but okay.
Yeah, you whoop, straight through. And one by one.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. I presume no one's staying outside. We're kind of on that.
I'm going last, but I'm going.
Cool. You come out into a sort of dank, dusty, bare cellar. And in front of you see what is just a large plank of kind of rugged wood. It looks like the crack of a tree branch that was kind of fell off from the fire itself, plonked on top of a couple of barrels. It's no longer on fire. It's just a scorched and scarred segment of a tree. And on top, you do notice a map of Hibernia. And it seems to be pinned down with daggers either corner of the table.
Nice.
And positioned over it, you see Abby de Vauclair. And she's in dark crimson leather armor. She's no longer in that Fianna attire. And her hair, I know when you first met her, was sort of in this sort of very strict militaristic braid. If that could get even tighter and even more serious, if she could roll up her sleeves and get to business, she's rolled up her sleeves and got to business. Top button undone. There's a little bit of sweat. She's a politician ready to get down to some hard work and stuff. And she is there, standing over the map and goes, well, I was kind of wondering when you'd all turn up, and I must say I'm very happy you've come. I presume that means you're on our side. And just behind her, in the shadows, you can see a tall man. It's odd because you can see the shadows he's casting on the wall from the few lanterns around this small area seem to be giving off the shimmering outline of wings projected behind him. And he steps forward and goes, I was also wondering what side of this you'd end up on. And it's Lan Fallon, the Aasimar savior of all.
The guy who rescued us from the Hound, is it?
Yeah.
He fucking destroyed that Hound. Big powerhouse. He saved us.
Hey,
he gave us Leprosaurus.
Does he have antlers? Am I remembering that wrong?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, he kind of wears a crown of antlers.
Okay, I thought they were.
Also has Slippersaurus. Slippersaurus isn't here. Slippersaurus is
sad.
I don't know, frolicking in some field.
Hello. Oh, excellent! It's been so long. Hello.
So when you say what side we landed on, what are the sides?
Yeah, I'm also pretty confused. I think before we agree to being on any side, we need to know what the hell is going on.
I mean, I think I know, but just need definitely to be confirmed what the sides are.
Because Susie seemed to be under an thinking it was some kind of triple cross, but then she didn't know how to explain that.
Well, that's odd. It's not really a triple cross. It's like a one source.
That's what I was.
3 singular crosses.
Making more sense now. Yeah.
Susie, anyway, thank you, Susie, for bringing them here. So you've no idea what's going on.
We have some idea.
Have we ever? Oh, is the sound still not on? Is this
in that Abby and Lanfalon look to each other as if, like, of all the parties in all the world to save said world, it's Huck's bunks that was dealt in their hand. And I think there, as we kind of are all under a basement burning in a illusionary tavern in the middle of a complete district, crackling and blazing, with this map of Hibernia laid out on the table, daggers in, just because, hey, what else are daggers for if not for pinning down maps? That's what I say. We pull back out. Yeah, which is terrible, because if you want to pin where you've been, it's just a lot of daggers. Just too many daggers to show where you've been in the world.
Expensive.
Yeah, scratch maps don't exist yet, so there's no way to show off to your cool friends places you've been in the world. But as we pull back from the situation where we have Abby and Lanfalon, yourselves and Sarah Susie, and out into the burning district, and then general civil unrest that's happening in Draíocht, I think that's where we'll leave today's episode. Next episode, exposition. Who knows? More exposition? Who knows? We will be back in 2 weeks' time, right here on YouTube, or if you're listening and you've caught up to the show, right here on your podcast app of choice. Please do leave a comment, rate, subscribe, hit the thumbs, do the bells. You should see, actually, about this point in the show, over Keelan's face, there should be a subscribe button. It usually just covers up most of your panel, so it's right there. Until then, look after yourselves, take care of each other, be sound, good night, and joy be with you all.